is the R&D consoles, which is the our advanced ones. So of course you guys probably happen to notice that the layout of the interior is. So of course I'm probably going to be happy to announce before we get started that I finally have the Valkeys. Now of course the event campaign has not happened yet because as you can see if you want to take a look, it's coming very soon. So I mean I got it because of the R&D promotion. I was making a calculated risk and the risk was pretty much worth it. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, of course, I'm probably going to say this as a short answer, are these R&D consoles worth it? Short answer, no. The long answer is depending on the build that you want, nonetheless. So, like, if you want a carrier build, you can pretty much put some engineering content. Now, I'm probably not going to recommend that you actually, get, that you can actually get these consoles. So, or you can pretty much get it from the Infinity promotion pack that is currently going on. It is like only 800 Zen, and on top of that, you get a free T6 ship with it. Now, I'm probably going to tell you that it's probably not actually like worth the grind to get. Oop. Now, I'm probably going to say that it's probably not worth the grind to get. Very few things to open with these. I think I still have like a bunch of them, and I think they're taking up my inventory space, my R&D inventory spots. But as far as our, a couple, but nonetheless. I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't recommend this is because there are mostly around 70% of this community are free-to-play players, and people who rarely spend time on this game. So I'm probably much going to go to my R&D projects, and nonetheless, I have not actually gotten not a single R&D console equipped, and that's because they are so many mods. And I'm just putting it out here. This is just my carrier side, which I should probably put that thing in there, but trying to make the ship a multi-mission ship, nonetheless. But I believe it's just the mods, and the mods are pretty terrible. And look, I have one right here. This is the Console Advanced Engineering Hangarcraft Power Transmission. Don't know how I said all of that, but that I won't say it again. It gives bonus torpedo damage and, getting some weapon power and, some stacking max of weapons. Now, I'm gonna say that this is probably one of the most worthless things in my opinion. Because, one, I have superior air denial, and two, of course they have photon torpedoes, but it's the pulse disruptor cannons that do the most DPS. And the reason why I say this is because you have superior air denial. That is the go-to trait for most builds. I'm sorry, for just carrier builds in general. But like if you want to run a full carrier, it don't matter if it has a 2 hangar bay. These two, you're gonna have to run superior air denial. Now, of course, there's an alternative, which is focus assault, but you won't get that much, and you pretty much have to fire targets individually. Now, I thought I probably might be able to in the engineering spot, which I probably have some. Not this, not it. There, because it's not just killing me, but it's a ship that you can fire anti-proton, battle of anti-proton weaponry. But I have to tell you this, that I wouldn't recommend putting builds is concerned. Yeah, as far as same builds is concerned, pretty much it's supposed to be generate as much threat as much as possible. But with if you're pretty much trying to tank, I recommend spell anti-proton weapons. But we're going off topic a little bit here. Like here we have the Hangarcraft transmission. Now there's a certain TFO for each of these components. So, okay. So I believe Counterpoint, which is the most common for me, well known, knowledgeable for me, that's where you get it from, and you have to go through a bunch of Terrans for 5 straight minutes. And you have to hold it off for 5 straight minutes. Now, there are a lot of players who cannot afford ships like these. They cannot afford a ship like this, like $200 worth of ships. They cannot afford $1 billion worth of Infinity ships. They cannot afford that much. So I'm probably going to tell you that it's not worth it, because if you are a free-to-play player and I tell you to go get this stuff, despite the fact that you're gonna die over and over again just to get some shitty crap that you'll never use again, I wouldn't recommend it to you. Now, I'm not gonna say that like these consoles, they don't break the meta whatsoever. Like, they are just R&D consoles. They were just introduced into the game. They have Hanger Craft and they have Isolate Manifold. They just have some stacking power. You can easily get that from a trait or something. And as for like projectiles, I think there's supposed to be some advanced console here, but I don't think I see one. It's pretty whack. Science has one. They have like a shield symphon. Now, shield symphons, they drain your shields, and they give a stack of analysis. Now, I don't know what analysis is. I mean, they give you some hull penetration. That's something you can literally get from any other console in the game. Like, let me show you real quick. You can get this from shield penetration. That kind of doesn't make any sense. But this gives you hull penetration. You can get that off the Shran for literally 30 bucks. Now, that's not it. But, you know, there are like several consoles in the game that can give you some hull penetration. Literally no excuse. You can even get them from mission rewards. You can literally get them as mission rewards. And now I can't tell you what mission it is, but at the same time, there are literally loot drop boxes everywhere. Every time you defeat an enemy, it gives you like a loot drop box. So, of course, and if you open Infinity lot boxes and you get those universal consoles, of course, it'll give you some, one of those consoles will give you a stack of hull penetration per enemy. Now, of course, you probably might even see on my build that Lorca's Custom Fire Controls is not on here, because I do not want it there. I can already kill people with one shot. And with the immolated phaser lance and the bonus universal console damage, and also in unconventional systems, I can keep them up most of the time to the point where I don't even need Lorca's Custom Fire Control at all. So, hey, beats being smart. But at the same time, if you're running a new ship and you're trying to get, you know, trying to level it up, I recommend just get the 2-piece Lorca set. But moving on. Now, shields, I think they also have consumable advanced batteries as well. I'm gonna deep dive into this in a bit, but of course we're gonna keep going with the advanced consoles, because as far as I'm concerned with these are they're pretty shit. And also, I've only found like at least engineering and science. That's the only thing I could find. At least I can find. I can't find anything else. But that's why. They're pretty useless, and I wouldn't recommend getting them, because Energy Synthon, you can pretty much just get it as a, you don't really need to drain a ship's power just to power your own. For that, you can pretty much get like a trait or something from it. And you can get it from like a $30 ship, I believe. I know where my, I know where it is. Trade section. Now, I think one of the traits I know that you can actually use to drain find it. But at the same time, it's probably going to be worth it either way. Let's see. I feel like I'm getting closer. Not closer, really. I unlocked a lot of ships, so I pretty much have a lot of traits. But either way, it still gives, that trait still pretty much gives you drains or shields while boosting your own. And I think it's like a science trait too. If I can find it, though, it's pretty hard. There it is. Peripheral power. Now, this is something I believe if this comes into my memory correctly, you could pretty much get this from the Far From Home lockbox. It's just it's one of the at least the latest lockboxes that came out at least probably sometime this year. I believe this is during the Temple War and stuff like that going on, but you know, it boosts your own, and it depends on you know, it drains a target's auxiliary power, something that you'll probably need, and it's probably for a science build. It probably might not be for a science build. Who knows? Now, I'm not going to guarantee that it'll work. Probably, I have tried it before, and it only boosts my auxiliary power a tiny bit because, you know, I'm not running a science ship. But if you're running a science ship and but you have to put your aux power to high, do so. But once more, we're going off topic. The short, they're shit because they're hard to obtain, and it requires you to die multiple times to do so. And I wouldn't recommend you get them anyway, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna look back at them and they're gonna be useless as hell. Like, think about it. Name one time where you actually have a console such as this and then you throw it away. Exactly. You would pretty much see something like this and you throw it away. Not worth it, right? Now, next we're going to move on to the shield batteries, or batteries in general. Like these advanced battery hull patches. Now, I wouldn't give a damn about these because, of course, if you actually do one of the, finish the Iconian War, if you finish the Iconian War, you will have this. I believe it's, Reactive Armor Catalyst. And I think you have to go through, and I think mission rewards, and it unlocks a research project for it. Now, it only takes up to 5 seconds, and it boosts your hull more than the batteries do. It gives you temporary hit points every time you use it. Now, it only gives it for 10 seconds, but it also saves your life for a quick heal. Sounds fair enough? I think so. And most likely, it's been around for at least as long as I can remember. And most importantly, I think the Iconian War actually came out back in, I think it was like no, because that's when Victory's Light came out in 2016. I think it came out a long time ago. But, long story short, Iconian War was pretty much the main storyline for Star Trek Online, for the most part. Like, it all builded up to this. So, you know, the Reactive Armor Catalyst from one of the Iconian War missions I recommend you get. Now, as far as any other battery patches or whatever, I wouldn't recommend it either, because you could equip multiple things on here. Red Matter Capacitor, the Temporal Negotiator if you own a Delta Recruit, the Scorpion Fighters from the Vault, and this you can get it from just the dilithium store. It's just one dilithium thingy. You can just get it just with 8k Zen. 8k dilithium. And the Reactive Armor Catalyst. If you have a fifth one, you could probably install one of these, you can install, like, if you have a fleet, I recommend you just go ahead and get a, I don't know, you could probably just get one of those batteries from the Fleet Embassy if you are in a fleet. If not, then you can probably equip one of those batteries on there to save some extra space. Or if you want the Kobayashi Maru, you can go ahead and get the Kobayashi Maru and equip it on there. At the same time, those batteries are kind of useless, but other than that, I think that'll be all for today. If you guys want to like, share, and subscribe, hit the bell notification. That much obliged, and I think I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.